Hey everyone, it's Emily from Life So Savory, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a hodgepodge of a show. I have a couple of projects I'm working on. I wasn't inspired to really do anything else, so I'm just going to let you follow along while I finish up these couple of projects I'm working on. I'm super excited to show you the new Brother Sublimation printer. I'm not going to go through a full walkthrough, but we are going to print a design and apply it to a shirt. I did a trial yesterday and it was on my list today to make something to put on a sweatshirt of mine for a post that I'm doing for next week. So I'm excited about that. Plus, I'm working on my first Christmas project of the year, which is an embroidered table runner. It's turning out beautifully. However, I did make a mistake yesterday, and so I called it quits. And I spent way too long picking out the part of the embroidery that was incorrect, but I'm ready to fix that little portion today. So I'm going to bring you along for the ride on that as well. So I'm glad you're here. If you're watching, please say hi. I'll try to keep track of the comments and catch you up as we go. So I also just wanted to share briefly about my time last week at the Houston Quilt Festival. So I'll kind of share some of those things as we're making these projects, but that's what we're up to today. So a little sublimation, a little embroidery, getting things done that are on my to-do list, as well as trying to stay warm on this cold, rainy day here in the Denver area. So it is chilly. I'm drinking some tea because I already had a cup of coffee and I'm trying not to just drink it all day. But so tea for this afternoon, and I'd love to know what you are up to, what you have going on, and if there's anything on your project table. So I'm going to jump right in, show you the two things we're going to be making, and then get started. Okay, so yesterday here was my trial of the sublimation, and what I'm loving is that on the Art Spirit app, there are several of these combination designs. So this one is sublimation and a vinyl, and I'll show you that real quick. But you first print the sublimation, then you send the vinyl to cut that to your machine, and you end up with this really cute design. Of course, this is just on a scrap of fabric, but even on this sweater knit, it turned out really beautifully. And I'm going to wash this as well to sort of check and see how it washes. But all things I've read indicate that it's no problem to wash sublimation ink with a few just minor adjustments to your wash. So that's what we're going to be doing. And today I'm going to print something and put it on this sweatshirt, as well as we're going to start so we can do the sublimation while this is embroidering. I'm working on this table runner and I'm loving the way it looks out. So at the Houston Quilt Festival, I found this variegated Christmas yarn. It's called Christmas candy cane, maybe? Not Christmas, just candy cane. And then I'm embroidering this design onto this table runner. Now, the design is, let me see, like one portion of this. So maybe from here to here is the design on my machine. And then I'm stacking it up and rehooping my fabric as I go to get it continuous down the runner. Now, what I did up here, and if you look really close, you can see a little bit where I've picked out. I didn't mirror the image because on here, you can see that I'm kind of going every other one. Like this is sticking out here, but on this side, it's sticking out here, and then it goes back to sticking out over here. And I just stacked this same design here. I forgot to mirror it so that it was back and forth as I've been doing all the way down. I was actually so close to finishing. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to rehoop this, and we are going to put it back into the embroidery machine. Then we're going to come over and print the sublimation design and check that out. Okay, so that's what we're up to. In my hoop, I have sticky stabilizer because that's the easiest way to do this runner. This is a table runner that I got at IKEA. I have used this runner in various colors from IKEA many times for fun sewing projects. It's thick enough to be structured, but thin enough that it's easy to sew on. So if you're looking for a table runner that is fun to add either embroidery or applique, or I think one time I added some like twine strips that were really fun down the middle of it. The IKEA, I highly recommend the IKEA table runners, okay? Plus, they're really cheap. I can't say exactly, but I think it was like $4.99. All right, so really, it's nice and long too. You can see how long it is. All right, so adding my embroidery. Now, what I've been doing to make sure that I'm getting the embroidery in the center of the hoop as much as I possibly can be sure of anything is, as I'm hooping it, I take it and I fold it in half. Okay, and then line up those edges. And then if you have a fresh sheet of sticky like I do here, you can put it right down the middle, or you can line up the center with any of the other marks on both sides of the hoop. So just make sure you put your middle. Oh, I am not seeing it fuzzy. Anyone else? Can anyone else? Mary said that it's quite fuzzy. Can anyone else chime in? Is that what you're seeing? Is it her internet? Is it me? I don't know. On the screen in front of me, it looks clear. So please chime in and let us know, is it fuzzy for you? Because sometimes we need to get to, okay, so clear for Darla. So then Mary, I would say it's probably on your end, because if it was fuzzy for the streaming, then it would be fuzzy for everybody. So, okay, thank you guys for chiming in. All right, back to this. So I'm going to actually line up with a line that's a little bit closer to one side so that I can reuse the sticky stabilizer if I want. So I also want to make sure the bottom of the design that I'm going to match up with is far enough in that I can line up the design. No problem, Mary. No need to apologize. Okay, so on my hoop, there are marks on the ends, and I put the center mark lining up with the same mark on both sides, stick it down. Then I'm going to go ahead and open it up and get it fully stuck in there. Okay, so now we have this stuck to the hoop. We can line up with this. It's a couple inches inside, and we're going to put the next line of embroidery right there. All right, so we're going to move over to the machine so I can show you how I'm doing the embroidery. Okay, so I'm going to just do a quick adjustment here. And I guess we will re-angle this down. Okay, so here's my machine. No need to apologize, Mary. It's always good to ask. And sometimes I don't know either if it's on my end or your end. So I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to make sure this is set up because sometimes it wants to move the embroidery unit. You can see I already have the design on here, but what I need to make sure is that it's mirrored correctly. So on this one, I can see that this star shape that comes out to the side is going to the right. So here going to the left, that is the way that I want it to go this time. Okay, so I think it's correct to go, and I think I'm ready to embroider. So I'm going to, ready to line it up. I'm going to hoop my fabric, or load the hoop in the machine. Okay, put that on there. And then I'll show you how I'm lining this up. Okay, so now it says it's going to move just a little bit. And I have the green cross, which shows me where my needle is, set at the top of the design. And you can set it wherever you want by using this button to move that line up. So I have it in the top center. So now I can just go ahead and, where do I? Lay out, move, and I can move it over. I actually want to move over quite a bit until it lines up with the design that I already have on Let's see if I can move this table so I can bring this a little bit closer. So I can line it up with the design that I already have going, okay? So one thing that I learned actually from a show I was watching, you know, sometimes I'm on the Brother Lives, the Brother Sews Facebook Lives. Well, sometimes I watch those because I learned so much from those other ladies as well. So yesterday, someone was using this little laser. Can you see that? There's a little laser light on there, a little red dot. Okay, so that shows me exactly where the needle is. So now I know where to line it up, and you can move it like exact. I mean, it's not, of course, nothing is ever exact, but pretty exact to line that up on there. And now this is right in the hoop where it's going to be. I can lower the presser foot. This turns green. I'll also show you my setup here. So I'm using this large spool of variegated embroidery thread, this candy cane from Wizardly Embroidery or Wizardly Threads. Okay, so I have this spool hoop. It's going up and over because if it doesn't go up, the thread comes off this spool in a circular motion. It has to pull up. Okay, it can't. The machine is not strong enough to spin this. So it goes up and over, then down, and then threaded normally through the machine to get to where my design is. Okay, so that's what I have going for there. And we're going to go ahead and get this started. Then we're going to go back and we'll come back and hopefully this embroidery won't have any issues and we can come back and check it out finished in a few minutes. All right, so it's actually going to start with this bump out sort of design. I'm just double checking that it's coming off my spool nicely before I walk away, because the last thing I want is when I'm not watching the thread to get stuck and cause problems on my machine or for the pattern. Okay, so it looks like it is going well. I didn't check the bobbin, but I had actually just changed the bobbin before I had my issue yesterday. All right, there's like a long tail of thread in here. So I'm gonna clip this off. Okay. And then while this is embroidering, we're going to go over and do the sublimation, and then we'll come back and check out this design. Okay? All right. So close your eyes if you don't want to get dizzy. I'm moving the camera. I didn't set up two today. Just one. Okay. So now we are going to do the printing. I'm going to show you. I guess I need to move it up a little bit. It's cutting off my head, huh? I feel like I either need to be completely in it or not in it at all and not have weird like head chopped off, because who wants that? Okay, this is good enough. I'm going to show you the design I'm going to transfer from our Xpira, and I finally put it on my iPad. So we have a much bigger screen for me to show you. I just have to figure out what's a good angle for me to do this. So this is on the home page. Embroidery, cutting, printing, sublimation, projects, design templates. I do want to point out that you can print on the sublimation printer anything in the printing designs as well as anything in the sublimation. Okay, so because I was going down here and it says new sublimation design, so there's only 3 that show up here. Actually, if you go to the sublimation tab, there's more, but there's only 3 in the new. But if you go down to these new printing designs, there's way, way more. So don't be limited by this, but I did want to show you. So this is what I did yesterday. How can I lower the brightness on this? My kids use this all the time. I'm not sure how to go to settings, display and brightness. I just feel like you guys will be able to see it better. It's not quite so bright. Okay. All right. So here's the design that I put on that test piece. And if you go to create Okay, it shows you here, then you go to done. Now you're going to see 2 tabs at the top. Sorry, pull that and see if it makes it better. 2 tabs. We have the print and then we have the cut. And if I tab over to the cut, you can see it shows a scan and cut mat and it shows that design that I put on top of there. So just to show you again, this is what I did sort of as a test yesterday. Put the sublimation print on here. Then I cut with the scan and cut the vinyl, and I added that on top. I didn't follow quite the color scheme because I had that pink sparkle vinyl that I wanted to use out. All right, so cancel. So it was yellow, which actually I think if I had a yellow sparkle vinyl, it would be better. It says design your life. So cute. Okay, so going back, I have a pink sweatshirt and I want to add something fun to it. So I was going to these print designs and I was scrolling through, and I'm just going to do a quick scroll through. These are all free. None of these need Artspira Plus, okay? But I do want to mention Artspira Plus, if you have Brother Machines, comes with a free 2-month trial. That is very generous. So you can really see if you're going to use it or not. You have 2 full months to try it out, as well as the fact that it is no, what do I want to say? No commitment. It's month to month. So you can go ahead. Aren't these gradient colors fun? They'd be great for a background and then put something on top of them. So many. This is really pretty to make like a fabric. Okay. And these, ooh, those snowflakes. I'm going to have to do something with that. So again, these are all in the free section, but the paid Artspira Plus does have a 2-month free trial, and it's no commitment after that. It's month to month. So you're making a lot for Christmas. Sign up. It's $11.99, I'm pretty sure. And then when you're not using it, unsubscribe. There's no harm in subscribing and unsubscribing and going back and forth. Okay, that's totally my plan. So this, I think, is going to look really pretty, this landscape on this pink, look at this sort of dusty rose sweatshirt that I have. I think that's going to look awesome. Okay, so that is my plan. So we're going to go to create. And now up here, you can change the paper that you're using. So I'm going to put portrait and done because I want to pretty much fill a sheet of the sublimation paper. Okay, so you select it and then you can just click and drag to make it bigger. Okay, so I am filling my paper. That's a little bit off. I'm sure it's going to tell me it's off. Okay, so making sure that it's within all the sheets. I think I can print this close to the edge. Do I know for sure? No, I do not. Okay, but I think I could go ahead and write some cool text up here if I wanted. Okay, so if I hit OK, then down here, there's the text editor. I don't really know if I want to put something, but let's just say we put the word shine, for example. Select it, click and drag it, make it bigger. And then we could also go down here to the fonts. And there are several with the crowns that are the paid subscription, but there are also several that are free. Okay, so if I pick that one, for example, totally free, so cute. I'm gonna delete the text actually, because I think I just want it plain. But there's a lot of times where I do want to add text to a graphic, and that's really easy to do. You can also go down here and add anything from your camera roll, or I believe any other logo or illustration from Artspira. You can see we have animals, birds. Okay, so we can combine designs really easily on there. Okay, so now I'm done. We're not going to save that. Okay, and we're going to select a printer. The Brother SP1, which I set up yesterday, shows up. I'm going to make sure it's on. Okay. And we're going to go hit print. So it says sending. It has like a little percentage. Oh, it says error. It did that yesterday too, but the second time, then it went through. Uh-oh. Come on. Yesterday I had to like hit the screen. The Wi-Fi's on. Well, that's not good. Why is it not printing? Let me turn it off and back on. Okay, so it says shutting down. I'm going to check it out. So yesterday I totally thought that was a glitch, that the first time I hit send, it said there was an error, but then the second time it went right through. So not quite sure. Let's just check this out. So I'll wait for the Wi-Fi to reconnect. This printer works with Artspira, but it also can be connected with a cord to your computer if you wanted to send designs that way. Okay. I was telling my husband last night about it. He's like, so I could print a picture of someone's face and put it on a t-shirt, and I said, yes, you can. So he's busy thinking about all the fun things that he can do with it as well. All right. So I'm going to hit print again. Sending. Oh, and then it went 100%. So I don't know. It's a little bit odd to me. I'm going to pull out this tray. Okay, so it supports the paper. I don't know. Maybe it just needed a restart. I don't have insight into that. I'll keep you posted if it becomes an issue, but so far it has just been more like a glitch, not really an issue. But there we go. Okay, so it says please wait on there. Okay, so it's telling me what's going on. It took a few minutes to print yesterday, but I wouldn't say a really long time. While that's printing, I'm going to turn on my heat press so that I can start getting that warmed up. Online, there is a guide that tells you what temperature to print each. Oh, good, Mary. Yay! To use for each transfer. So right here, can you see, I don't know, on the bottom it says heat guide. And then it opens up a web page. So you do need something with internet, but this will bring up, hopefully. Yesterday, it told me exactly like, oh yeah, here. So polyester fabric, hard material, soft material. And this is on the Brother page, and you just kind of select what you want. T-shirt, towel, tote bag. If I put the t-shirt, it tells me I should do it at 390 for 45 seconds. We recommend using a heat press mat for sublimation transfer. To avoid inconsistency, make sure the transfer surface is even. If your material is wrinkly, smooth it out. And then it says do not touch it. The printed paper, be careful not to shift when peeling the paper. Be careful not to burn your fingers. Okay, so all the details right there for finishing the transfer. All right, it's printing. Can you see it's like starting to come here? We're going to take a look at it and do it. And I'm going to be careful not to touch that side. The sublimation paper comes with one corner notched slightly. This corner of my paper, can you see that is like not quite square. It has like a little notch on it. And then when you're loading the paper, it tells you where to put that notch so that you make sure that the right side is up. Okay, so looks really pretty. Trying to just touch the outside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the printer because the heat pad is actually right under it. And we're going to hopefully apply this to my shirt. Okay, so the heat pad or the heat press is still warming up. So we're going to get this ready to go. So I made this sweatshirt. I love it. It's really soft sweatshirt fleece, but I thought it could use a little more pizzazz. So why not do something fun with it, like add a cool design. All right. Hi, Danielle. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I have the center, right? We want to get this all lined up. And my heat pad isn't very large, but I feel like I want the design maybe in the middle of to start here. Okay, now the printer is, that's okay, Danielle, don't worry about it. The printer is limited by typing, paper size. So you can print anything that comes out on a paper size. But like I said, they have some really cool ideas and designs for using either your cutting machine and the printer, or the printer and your embroidery machine. So that's the next one I want to try, is where you first print it, then you transfer the embroidery files to your machine and then embroider on top of the printed design. So very, very cool things. Just things I want to try out. So my heat press is big enough to cover this whole design. So we're going to put it on and we're going to go for 45 seconds, which is what I had it set. So have it set for. So I'm going to go ahead and push the timer. I don't think that you need pressure with this, like with heat transfer vinyl. Sometimes I always say like, push hard for the heat transfer. I think this is more about the heat than the pressure, but I'm going to keep my hands on here and sort of apply even pressure while it's ticking down the 45 seconds. So this heat press has settable temperature and what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, a timer. So it doesn't turn off when the timer goes off, but it does beep at me and tell me to take it off. This sort of sublimation paper you can also use to make mugs. I don't know if you need a mug press, which is like a heat press in a circle. And I've seen that and it looks awesome. So that might be the next toy that I need. But we'll see. So I don't know I don't really think I have to wait. And it just sort of lifts off. Okay. There's a little bit of the design left on the paper, but you guys, this is just perfection. It's subtle, but so cute. Oh my goodness. It's not too much. It's just lovely. It's just lovely. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Can you see that? I'm so excited. That is like perfect. Just what I was envisioning on the sweatshirt. Okay, I'm trying not to touch it. So I did read today, you should wait 24 hours to wash your shirt after you put the sublimation ink on. You should turn it inside out and use like a gentle detergent, which we use for everything. A gentle detergent, no bleach, obviously, and cold water. If you remember, I probably will try it without cold water because I wash everything on the same settings. And in our house, you can't really survive if you need to be washed specially. Everything gets washed exactly the same because that's the way it goes. So if this needs too much special care, it won't survive. Oh, it does. Yeah. The back of my computer, I ordered this like print for the back of my little HP thing. Oh, it's so beautiful. All right, let's give you a little close up. I just love that it's not too bright. So this color up here was actually light enough that I can kind of see through, but the darker colors you can't really see through, and the ink looks awesome. I bought some like National Park t-shirts off someone from Etsy. This totally looks like this is probably how they're doing it. Because it looks exactly like some of those t-shirts, only it would say like Yellowstone or something at the top. So, all right. Project number 1 is complete. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm writing a post that will be up the end of next week, start to finish, how to use the sublimation printer. Okay. From setup out of the box to making something. You guys got the little sneak peek here to see me make the sweatshirt, but it will be a full walkthrough. So that will be the end of next week posted. All right, let's come back to project number 2. today, which is the embroidery. All right. And it made a little beep noise. I don't know if you heard it in the background, but it is finished. Okay. So we're going to check this out. Finished embroidering. Okay. I'm going to remove it. Remove it from there as well. And now you can see, I don't know if you can see the design, but it looks perfect. So that's the part that I did incorrect last time. So I forgot to mirror the design. This little bump here, I wanted to make sure it was opposite. And last time I didn't do that. It was going to line up exactly the same. So I picked it out and I'm trying again. It's kind of maybe a little bit dark, but it looks cute. I love the variegated thread. It works with the thread stand. If you don't have a thread stand, and what I mean by thread stand is this thing on top of your machine. If you don't have that, yesterday I also trialed just putting it, let me show you, just putting it down behind your machine. Okay, so that worked too. It should be close to your machine. Okay, so it's being pulled sort of straight up. And then I did put it through this guide here that's usually used for the bobbin, put it through there before I started winding it so that it would keep it away from all this stuff. Because if you don't put it through there, then it kind of butts up against here. And I was afraid it would get caught in the handle. Okay, so keep it close to your machine, have it come straight up through and around if you don't have the thread stand, and that worked perfectly too. Okay, so those are the two things that I kind of wanted to walk with you today and show you, and that were on my to-do list. So now I have time to finish getting dinner ready and get a couple other things done before I head off on the afternoon of taking the kids to physical therapy and doing lots of other things that I need to do. So the light is a little bit better here. I'm not going to remove it from the hoop because I actually want to take a picture of doing that for the post that I'm writing about this embroidered cloth. So you can come back on Friday. I'll be giving the details for all this, but you guys got to see it in action for this table runner, and I think that's it. So that's my show for today. I will be back next week with a project. We'll try to do something fun on Wednesday on Life So Savory. And then Thursday, the 16th, I will be live on the Brother Sews Facebook page with Angela Wolf, making a Thanksgiving themed sublimation project from start to finish. So you can check that out. That will be really fun as well. And we'll be walking through sort of live all the details and the setup that goes with that as well. So that will be on Thursday, and it's going to be great. So I hope you'll join me for one of those shows next week. I'll be off the following week for American Thanksgiving. And then hopefully in December, oh gosh, where's time going? Doing some fun other holiday themed projects. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your week and you were a little bit inspired by what I was working on today. Bye.